Morning, everyone. I'm Sergeant Brenton Schneider with the Marin County Sheriff's Office and currently acting as the Woodward Fire Incident Public Information Officer. We're going to get started this morning with some updated numbers for the Woodward incident. We're currently sitting at about 2,259 acres with about 5% containment. We are hoping for updated mapping later in the day through our GIS platform that will give us a better idea of containment and also where the fire is currently sitting. We did release a interactive map last night that allows you to look at current heat signatures on the fire, as well as look at the current evacuation warnings that are in place. That's available both on the Marin County Fire Twitter page and also the Marin County Sheriff's Office Twitter page. We did issue additional evacuation warnings yesterday for the areas primarily consisting of Olema, Inverness Park, and Sea Haven. In addition, we did issue an evacuation warning area to the east side of Highway 1, basically from Sir Francis Drake and Highway 1 in Olema, south to the McCurdy Trail, which is near the Bolinas Y, and everything west of Bolinas Ridge. At this time, we currently have 20 engines, 2 water tenders, 3 helicopters, 5 hand crews, 2 dozers, 26 overhead crew for a total of 196 personnel. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the incident commander, Bernard Spielman.
Good morning, everyone. A lot going on here at the incident today. We have been getting some resources trickling in, and that's starting to help our activities as far as getting some work done. Just real quick around the fire's edge, coming off the north coast here, we are looking at doing some indirect line on the ridge with the dozers within the park boundaries. We've gotten a permission and support for that process. We think it's going to be very successful, and we're going to try and work on getting some more direct line and some containment on the north side of the fire. As we come around outside of that, the fire is burning in some very huge Doug fir draped with the moss. Stuff that's usually dripping wet during the summer is not dripping wet at all. It is very dry out there. Those fuels and some knobcone pine. Knobcone pine loves fire, but it is very thick and it has a lot of dead component mixed into that fuel as well. And that's where the fire is giving us a really hard time in the higher elevations up here on the top end of the fire. Fire is continuing to progress northeast, and that's our biggest concern. The other big concern right now is a possible wind shift and weather change. So if you're watching the weather service and how things are going there, we are expecting thunderstorms and lightning in the next 24 to 48 hours, which could cause some big issues if they're dry and we start getting a bunch of wind. So we are in the planning phases of preparing and developing containment and strategies to hold the fire close to the park headquarters and around there. A lot of work going on the road systems. So a lot of firefighters that whatever we can grab are working on those road systems and trying to get out ahead of the fire. On the south end of the fire, we've had a lot of difficulties trying to see through the smoke, get underneath that smoke, figure out where that fire's edge, and manage that situation as far as where it's at, where it's going, what the threats are. So that's why we have such a large warning area out. The potential for the fire to move long distance is still very much in place, and those warnings are there for your safety, to give you a heads up and to prepare you for if there is an evacuation, you have time to prepare. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Our incident commander just gave you a lot of the operational briefing. I understand for all of our residents, this presents a lot of stress, a lot of challenges. The good news is we're starting to get more resources, which is helping a lot. We've been aggressively fighting this fire since it started. It's just, as you're all aware, the state is so drawn down on resources, engines, crews, bulldozers, aircraft. There's a lot of competition for that, but we're getting fills, which is good news. Many of you have heard that 2 of our firefighters had to be extracted by helicopter last night. after being on a ridge top. Thank you all for reaching out. Your well wishes. Both are doing well physically. Obviously, a little bit shook up from the event. Certainly want to reach out and thank Sonoma County Sheriff, Helicopter Crew 10 Henry 1 for their work last night, as well as CHP's helicopter for being there. It's much appreciated. We've got a community meeting tonight at 5 p.m., which I'm sure Brenton, our PIO, will review. And again, thank you all for your patience. Thank you for the well wishes. We have some weather changes coming, but our men and women out there are doing a fantastic job fighting this fire, and they're going to keep after it, most of which have been assigned since the first day without a break. Again, thank you all for being on today, and for all the support we've got from the community. It's much appreciated.
Thanks, Chief. I would like to remind everyone that we are doing our best to provide timely, accurate, and coordinated information through multiple avenues. That would include the Marin County Fire Twitter feed, the Marin County Sheriff's Office Twitter feed, and also Facebook for both agencies. In addition to that, we are asking that visitors limit their travel to the coastal region. The reason for that is that the egress from the area where we do have evacuation warnings is very limited. And in order to provide the safest route possible for evacuations, if we do have to issue evacuation orders, is to have the least amount of people on the coast as possible. We want to ensure that the residents have the means to get out of the area, and also that firefighters have the available routes, both ingress and egress, to fight the fire and save any communities if they were to be threatened. So any visitors that are coming to the coast, we ask that you please limit your access and do not come to the coast at this time for the safety of our community. In addition to that, we will be providing a town hall tonight, like Chief Weber stated. It'll be available on Zoom and also live on the Marin County Fire Facebook page. As always, if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to the Marin County Fire Hotline, which provides daily updates, usually one in the morning and one in the afternoon, that has updated information on the fire pertaining to the Woodward fire incident. Thank you very much for joining today, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9:30.